the river Euphrates is mentioned. The mystery of God is finished. There's lightnings, voices and thunders and earthquakes and great hail. But there are also differences which show that there cannot be one and the same thing. Four affect 1/3 of the earth, hail, fire and blood. 1/3 of the sea to blood, creatures die. As you work your way through the list, you can see that there are clear differences between the trumpets and the 7 last plagues. 7 angels and the 7 trumpets. And the 7 angels which had the 7 trumpets prepared themselves to sound. Revelation 8:6. The subject of the 7 trumpets is here resumed and occupies the remainder of this chapter and all of chapter 9. The 7 angels prepare themselves to sound. Their sounding comes in as a complement to the prophecy of Daniel 2 and 7, commencing with the breaking up of the old Roman Empire into its 10 divisions, of which in the first 4 trumpets we have a description. That's taken from Daniel and Revelation by Uriah Smith. Trumpets. In Scripture, the trumpet was employed for 4 different reasons: to proclaim the various festivals of Israel, such as the Sabbath, new moons, New Year, holy convocations, and feasts; to summon Israel to prayer and praise; to proclaim the time of each advance of the camp of Israel in their wilderness journeyings toward the promised land; and a call to arms or a warning or alarm of an enemy invasion and overthrow of Jericho. These 7 trumpets all talk about forces that affected the area of the Roman Empire, first pagan Rome and then papal Rome. The context here is war. However, during this time it is also a call for God's people to draw close to God in worship, as we are in the time of the 7th trumpet. We find in the book of Numbers, chapter 10, verses 1 to 10, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly, and for the journeyings of the camps. And when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if they blow but with 1 trumpet, then the princes which are heads of the thousands of Israel shall gather themselves unto thee. When you blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east parts shall go forward. When you blow an alarm the 2nd time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. They shall blow an alarm for their journeys. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generations. And if you go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before the Lord your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginnings of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am the Lord your God." In Leviticus chapter 23, 24 and 25, "Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the 1st day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets, and holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord." Leviticus chapter 25, "Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vine undressed. For it is the Jubilee, it shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. In the year of this Jubilee ye shall return every man unto his possession." And in Zephaniah chapter 1, "A day of wrath and distress. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry with there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. So here we have the trumpet, synonymous with war, distress, and conflict. A trumpet denotes an invasion of enemy forces. This is made very clear by Jeremiah. Blow ye the trumpet in the land, cry, gather together, and say, assemble yourselves, and let us go into the defenced cities. It denotes an invasion is imminent, enemy forces are at hand. And I am pained at my very heart. My heart makes a noise in me. I cannot hold my peace, because thou hast heard, O my soul, the sound of the trumpet, the alarm of war. William Miller had some things to say about trumpets. In prophetical scripture, the sounding of trumpets is always used to denote the downfall of some empire, nation, or place, or some dreadful battle which may decide the fate of empires, nations, or places. At the fall of Jericho, the trumpet was the instrument. In the hands of the priest of the mighty God of Jacob, which cast down her walls, destroyed the city, and a curse pronounced against the man that should ever build up her walls again. Again, the trumpet was the instrument by which Gideon put to flight the armies of the aliens. And the prophet Amos says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? The last three trumpets will claim our attention in this discourse, the first four having their accomplishment under pagan Rome, and to the last three under papal Rome. These three trumpets and their woes are a description of the judgments that God has sent and will send on this papal beast, the abomination of the whole earth. Therefore we see the propriety of the language of our text. Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, meaning the worshippers of this papal beast, the followers of this abomination. The fifth trumpet alludes to the rise of the Turkish Empire under Ottoman and the downfall of the Saracens. Ottoman uniting under his government the four contending nations of Mahometans, which had long contended for the power during the reign of the Saracen Empire, viz. The Syrian Saracens, the Tartars, Arabs, and the Turks. These, all being by profession Mahometans, were ready to follow any daring leader to conquer and drive out from Asia and even make excursions into Europe, all who professed the Christian faith. They, having embraced the errors of that fallen star Muhammad, whose principles were promulgated by conquest and the sword, became one and perhaps the only barrier to the spread of the papal doctrine and power in the Eastern world. Here the Roman Church had long held a powerful sway over the minds and consciences of the Christian or Greek churches in the East, by the aid of the Eastern Emperor at Constantinople. But the Turks or Ottomans, from whom the Lord suffered to rise up in Bithynia or near the headwaters of the Euphrates as a scourge against this papal abomination, now became a check to the Roman power. And from this time we may reasonably date the declension of papal authority. Therefore, on the sounding of the fifth trumpet, Rome papal began to show a weakness which in every succeeding age has been more and more manifested, until her civil power has crumbled to ruin, and her ecclesiastical assumption must sink at the sounding of the seventh trump, to rise no more forever. William Miller actually believed in 1844 that the Roman or the papal power would be completely smashed under the seventh trumpet, because he thought that was going to be the end of the world. But we know that the seventh trumpet started in 1844, but actually concludes until the third coming of Christ. Revelation chapter 8, verse 7. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. Sir Isaac Newton says this: Such a fire was cast upon the earth, the Roman world, the territorial platform of prophecy.